Welcome to Those Four Letters podcast. I am Chris Johnson, a UCLA basketball national champion. Today's guest on the show is a repeat offender. He's been here before. I had to get my man Ethan from X in here to chime in. Ethan, what's good, Brody?
Man, thank you so much for having me back. I had to I was on my knees begging to come back after Saturday night, man.
Hey, dude, I was like, I would have had you on yesterday.
Yeah.
But I had a bunch of stuff, and I know Sunday's family day, so I was like, let me just get this dude today.
Yeah.
But we definitely getting after this stuff on Monday. Let's jump right into it, man. The game, 33-10. You told me a great story.
Okay.
I need you to retell that story.
I gotta set the scene. I gotta set the scene for this.
Retell the story.
So Saturday night, the guy who was my best man in my wedding, shout out Tim, best man in my wedding, got engaged Saturday. And so they had a little get together, a little celebration. And so I'm at that get together, and that thing is dragging on. We're having a good time, but that thing is dragging on. It's starting to get to game time, and I'm like looking at my watch all the time, like, Tim, man, congratulations, I got to get out of here. And so eventually I get in the car. Got to drop the fiance off, got to drop him off. I get back to the house, turn the TV on, and it's 33-10.
Yikes.
The first thing I see, I mean, I'm like following it on my phone, so I have an idea.
Oh, man.
It's 33-10.
What was your feeling? What was your feeling when you saw it 33-10? On the heels of everything that's been going on, Ethan.
Yeah.
You know, you see the score, and it's like, talk to me about what your thought process was.
I literally sent out a tweet. My reverse jinx is lethal. We need to find a way to weaponize this as a team. All right.
Yeah.
I literally sent out a tweet. I forget what exactly I said, but I was like, I guess we quit. I guess this team is quit at this point. I don't know.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, like, I'm a fan. You know, I'm just a schmuck fan sitting on the couch, and I'm thinking, oh well, you know, I guess we're moving on to the next one.
Right.
I'd be really interested to hear, as a player, what do you think was going through their minds? Because I already gave up, but clearly that's not what they were thinking.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I mean, dude, it was really interesting hearing Donovan Dent after the game, his post-game interview on the radio with Josh Lewin and Tracy Murray. So basically, the interview starts with Dent. He's explaining to Donovan the legend of Tyus Edney.
Okay.
And Donnie had no clue about Tyus, bro. No clue. Hey,
don't tell me
that.
No
clue. I was like, this is so. It made me realize how old I was. In the moment, I'm like, God, this dude doesn't even know who Tyus is. So he explains about Tyus, and then Josh asked him sort of, about the comeback and what happened. And Donnie said that it was him, Tyler, Eric Daly, and I think Sky Clark. And I think it was a huddle. I think it was a timeout. And I think their voices sort of dominated the timeout. They were looking at each other, talking about, guys, we need to go. We need to play. Now, as a player, 33-10, you're at home. You're coming off of 2 30 pieces against Michigan on the road. You've been humiliated. You're the talk of Twitter. Portnoy's talking about us. Every single influential personality in the history of mankind has something to say about
Rich Eisen is talking about
Rich Eisen, the legend. He's even talking about us. And so for me, seeing those guys, you kind of hit a moment, Ethan, where you can't get no lower. Like, this is where you bottom out. You kind of reach a point as a player down 33-10 where the rubber meets the road, and your heart and your pride take over. That's no cliche. There's heart and there's pride involved with the UCLA Bruin comeback that we saw against Illinois.
So much of conflict resolution,
Woo.
I feel like, is finding a way to make each other work together here, right? Like there's outside forces coming in that are trying to break us apart.
Yes.
And rather than us infighting each other because of these outside forces, we got to find a way to band together and fight against what's going on out there.
It puts everybody's back against the wall. The noise around the UCLA program. Now you get an us against the world mentality. Then us against the world is a great place to have a college basketball team, because now, instead of guys being worried about the BS, they are now blocking out a majority of the BS, and then your focus becomes streamlined. I'm winning. I'm trying to win for Toby Bailey, J.R. Henderson, Jelani McCoy, Charles O'Bannon, Cameron Dollar. Like I'm those are
Yes.
the guys I'm spending all my time with. We hanging out, we going out. They next door in my dorm room, and we
Mm-hmm.
playing video games
Mm-hmm.
every day,
Mm-hmm.
every to the wee hours of the night. So I want to win. I gotta face those guys. I gotta go back up into Saxon Suites and see these dudes if I didn't give my best. If I wasn't locked in.
So good.
If I didn't do my part, bro. And I think that's what we saw down 33-10 was guys just took control of their destiny.
Well, let me tell you real quick how that manifested itself on the court. First of all, that's so good. And I love to hear that perspective. Obviously, like I played, but not at that kind of level, you know? And so hearing that from a player, I think is special. The way this manifested on the floor, I turned the TV on. UCLA is down 33-10.
Yeah.
They then go on to score 33 points on 15 possessions to close the half.
Wow.
Xavier Booker goes 4 for 4, 10 points. Perry 2 for 2, 8 points. Clark 2 for 2, 5 points. Daly 2 field goals. Dent 2 field goals. Bilodeau 2 field goals. They went 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 for 14 down the stretch.
Golly.
33 points in 15 possessions. We ended up taking the lead in the second half at 60-58.
Yeah.
So what that means is that in 16 minutes of game time, 16 minutes, UCLA goes on a 50-23 run.
Did you like the small ball lineup, the 3 guards, 2 forwards that we started with?
I did. So here was the issue with giving up that run. I went back and I watched. I told you I missed it live. I went back and I watched it. The issue with that run is that they went on a 20-0 run, which included 4 offensive rebounds that led to 10 points and 3 turnovers, which led to 6 points. And so the rebounding, the reason I think that we haven't gone small at this point is honestly just waiting for Clark to get healthy.
Yeah.
But the rebounding is going to be a problem. Yeah. And it was a problem in that big run.
Yeah.
So that's an issue. The thing that they did really great, though, the thing that the 3-guard lineup does, it allows you to get out and to run the ball.
Yeah.
Right. It gives you more speed. It gives you more ball handling. So instead of just Donovan Dent who handles the ball, now you've got 3 guys who can take the ball off the glass, up the floor quickly. In fact, let me just throw this at you real quick.
Talk to me.
This is maybe a little bit of a wider season view here.
That's okay. That's okay.
UCLA in half-court situations is shooting 44% from the field, which is actually it's respectable. That's not awful. 44% from the field, but when we get out in transition, that jumps 15 percentage points up to 60% or 59% in transition. Ooh. Now, all that to say, maybe there's a little something with going 3 guards, speeding up the process. I know we've talked about this privately before, but maybe there's a little something with the tempo here.
If we playing Book, we're starting Book or Jamerson and Bilodeau and Daly. It's not like we're world beaters on the glass anyway. So that's sort of my thing. Right. It's like, why are we still sitting here talking about, oh, well, we're going to get crushed on the glass. We get crushed on the glass anyway. It doesn't matter. So my thing is, why not play? And we've talked about this. I told you this in the beginning. Play to our advantage. So now we have a small ball advantage. You have Eric Daly Jr., who you have to understand, when you have a 4-man in college basketball that can put the ball on the floor, that can take guys, get stuff off the bounce, and then beat guys up the floor in transition. Other big, lumbering, heavy-legged 4s like the Balkans over at Illinois, then that is your advantage. You need to lean into that advantage. Daly had 20 points after stinking it up. Multiple games, 6 points total on the Michigan road trip. This dude comes back in the biggest game of the season and gets a dub. You're not telling me that's not 90% has to do with his change in his position. Back to the Daly look at the 4. I think that was a masterful adjustment into the lineup, man, because he's too doggone good for us to be playing him at the 3 and him not to be giving us nothing.
Couple of things I want to get into your psyche again. I want to get into the player psyche a little bit more. I'm going to lean on you in this podcast here.
All right.
First of all, love the lineup change. I think what was really important for Daly is he got himself a couple of layups early.
Yes,
a couple of easy ones,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes,
and
sir.
he saw the ball go through the hoop a few times early. All of a sudden, Illinois started handing him, here's a free 3-pointer, Eric Daly, if you want to take it. And I want to know, what kind of a difference does it make if you get yourself maybe you get to the free throw line, maybe you get a layup, you just see the ball go through the basket. Does that make a difference for you?
Yeah, no question. It used to. I mean, what it does is it kind of gets you acclimated to the rhythm of the game. For I mean, me and my dad, we used to be on our field. We used to think about our field goal percentage.
Yeah.
And so I used to be on my field.
How can you not?
Hey, they say LeBron was stat pad, but I know at UCLA I was on some. I need my FG to be, sophomore year. I was 56.9, dog. Like I'm trying to be a 57% from the field type dude. So that affected the quality of my shot. Facing dead ball era of the 90s, it was a little different. It was a little different back then as far as spacing and threes and the type of shots you could take. But Coach Herrick made it a point to start me off in the post. So if I played the 2 guard, we're running UCLA high post. That guy's coming through. We're swinging it, and I'm getting somebody on the block in my first couple of possessions. But that was sort of the mentality of our offense back then. Start, kind of like a boxer. If you soften up the middle, and then it opens up everything else for a shot to the head, and then you can knock them out. So the middle was the painted area and the post, and then we would open up things like that. I feel like the way that they worked Daly in with rhyme and reason, instead of just take the first 3 or whatever. We don't do the back down contested mid-ranger thing, which drives everyone crazy. Now it's pump fake and go. And you could tell Daly had a different directive in mind the way he was playing.
Yes, and I want to bring that up with Booker too, because as you mentioned, Booker came off the bench in this one, right? And he checks into the game. We're down 23 points. And he immediately takes 4 shots. First thing he does in the game, checks in the game, gets a little mid-ranger free throw line. They don't guard him. It's wide open if he wants it, knocks it down. Next thing he does, 2 threes from the wing, right? Bam, bam. Next thing he does is a Spain pick and roll dunk, 10 points in 3 minutes. And let me tell you, I think they pulled Booker aside. And maybe they did, maybe they didn't. It seemed like they had a discussion. Listen, Booker, love you to death. You can't rebound to save your life. Right? I wish you would a little bit. When you check into this game, shoot the ball. Please. You know what I mean?
Once again, Ethan, Max playing to our strengths. So it's not about what you can't do. So I'm not going to harp and focus. Oh, Book can't rebound. Book in his rim protection. Nah, what can Book do good? Book will stretch you out as a 5 to the 26-foot mark, and now you got to come out there with him and guard. And he's a fluid offensive player, man. We've been, even from the beginning of the year, even when he was, we were hating on him, he still was like 1.2 something points per possession, 40, high 40s from the 3. Like this entire season, Book has been a 40% 3-point shooter, no matter what anyone wants to say about his production. Like on the NBA level, like you're looking at that, you can say whatever you want. Like that guy, he's going to get a shot. Somebody's going to say, hey, man, I got to bring this 7'4" wingspan dude in because of his offensive prowess, man. And I don't think we don't win that game, man, with Book. One more thing about Book, man. Have you noticed? He's playing with a different level of energy ever since he went to Michigan State. Ever since he went back home and saw his folks, bro, I didn't even know Book. I told you this. I didn't even know Book smiled. I didn't know he had teeth, bro. That dude was all smiles at Michigan State. Then you see him after in this game against Illinois. But if you watched him on the bench, Ethan, whenever he went to the bench and before he got into the game, that dude was engaged. He was clapping. He was standing up. I was like, wow. Like stuff, even when they were down 20-something points, it's like he was sitting there. No, I believe. No, I want to win. It's almost as if something happened at team meeting to where Book was just, they got Book out of his shell. So, but now Book's comfortable around everybody. And now you can be Book. And we saw it. This dude came in the game trying to help us win. He played like a those 4 letters guy. 100%.
Yes. And that is what I loved so much from our offense. We have talked, it feels like ad nauseum, about how this team can shoot the ball. And when it's swing, or you get that kick out pass, ball got to go up. If it's in the shooter's pocket and you're open, don't worry about attacking closeouts. If there's a little contest, it is what it is.
Thank you.
Ball got to go up.
Yep.
Right? And Book and Daly,
Man,
have had issues with that this season, and
yes.
zero conscience in the world in that game.
I love it.
Ball was going up. Trent Perry hit 2 of the most contested corner threes I've seen all season. Okay,
TP.
you remember Bilodeau? Bilodeau standing there in the corner to open overtime, and Big Z, 7'2" Big Z's got his hand all in him, and Bilodeau's, the ball's going up.
Yeah, I'm shooting this thing.
Man, corner from Bilodeau, and I'm like, it's one of those shots where it's like, no. Yeah, okay, all right, good shot, But that's what I'm saying. It was a different level of psyche, different level of aura with this one.
Connectivity, man. I'm telling you, we can't underestimate what the team meeting did, what the communication did for those guys' confidence. I mean, Tyler Bilodeau. I mean, these dudes were pulling and they were taking and making big shots, like a lot of cojones. Sam Cassell or whoever did the dance, like that's what the whole game, bro. I'm like, man. Dude, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that was our guys, that was our team, bro. It looked like a completely different team than any iteration of the Bruins I've seen all season, bro.
100%. It seems like I don't know what it is, but I think that people a lot of times under Coach Cronin are a little afraid to make a mistake.
Sure.
Sure. And these guys, it seemed like what you said about rock bottom may have hit, because these guys are like, who cares? Who cares? Yeah, let's just throw it up there. Let's just fire. I'm open.
I'll tell you what.
Shoot it.
I'll tell you what. Low key. Mick Cronin throwing Jamerson out of the game, doing what he did, may have saved UCLA's season. Low key.
Yes.
Because now
it made them.
It changes the dynamics, though, of that locker room. Now Mick can't be the fiery Napoleon dictator dude no more. He's got to acquiesce. He's got to listen. He's got to give a little. He can't sit up in his tower and just not listen to nobody and do things his way. He's got to listen to his assistant coaches. Now he's got to listen to the strength coach. He's got to listen to the trainer. He's got to take everybody serious, bro. And when that happens, it's almost like he becomes a better coach now, because now everything just isn't your machinations and everything that you think and you want to run and you want to do and you getting all in your head and you're not listening to nobody, when other people who have even better eyes on the game than you do and are looking at the game in a different way, like your assistants, people who you have shut out and who you have suppressed, whose voices you have suppressed for the entire season, and now they're allowed to make suggestions. Like, dude, I've played on teams like that, and for that, it's like, dude, it's like a new lease on life, Ethan.
Yes. We ran 3 different versions of a Spain pick and roll.
Can you believe that?
We ran a horns set flare screen in that game, and I was like, where is this coming? I haven't seen this from a Cronin team in ever 7 years.
Like, come on, well, horns.
I don't know where that came from, but I was watching this and thinking like something changed, something within the coaching staff, and it's one play. It's not gonna you're not gonna build a whole offense off of it.
Sure.
But somebody got in there and was able to say something.
Yes.
And to do something different.
Man, I'm telling you, and somebody pointed it out in the comments on those 4 letters on the website, that they saw Trent Perry kind of wave off Mick. There was some interaction, and like Trent was kind of like, forget you, man. And Mick didn't take him out the game. It wasn't no get over here. It wasn't none of that. Mick had to eat that wave off, and that is actually a good dynamic. And we were talking about it when we talked about it, Ethan, when I was talking about the difference between Tom Izzo and Mick Cronin, when I brought up how Izzo allows dudes to talk back. And so you'll see Izzo get into it, one of his guys, back and forth, where Mick, you always see him screaming and just, trying to just dominate the conversation and dominate the person, instead of having that give and take, which will allow the person to respect you a lot more. And you get to hear a different viewpoint. Like, dude, like as good as Mick Cronin is as a coach, as accomplished as he is, youngest ever to 500 wins and all this other stuff, 15 tournament teams or whatever it is, right?
National Coach of the Year under his
National
belt.
Coach of the Year. Mick Cronin is a legit basketball coach, make no mistake, but he don't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
He can get better. Okay, period. Okay, and so now, because of what happened, Jermon, Julio Frank, whoever it is that had to get at Mick, hey, Mick, we need you to change. We need you to be different on the sideline. You got to operate with a little bit more care and love, demonstrative, showing guys what time it is. I mean, Mick's still going to be himself. You heard him in the post-game press conference. So he's still, he's still going to be Cronin. But I'll take this version of Mick. How about the fact, bro? Like, so my last thing on this kind of point about Mick, right? Bro, we're talking about 2 straight 30-point losses on the road in 2 of the most pivotal conference games of the season. Guys absolutely quit on Mick. He lost it on the sideline, bro. We are the laughingstock of college basketball. And for this team to respond after being down 33-10, bro, to Illinois and then upset Illinois, bro, like when our backs against the wall, we need this to be in the tournament. That shows me so much about the character of this Mick Cronin coach team, and that these guys, I don't know how much they actually don't mess with Mick. Like, I think they rock with Mick. I think they rock. It's like that person you rock with. You don't like some of the things he brings, but there's something about him that you love, because there's no way a team doesn't quit after 33-10 if they hate their coach. No one is quitting, bro.
That to me was the most shocking part. And I even I had to eat my own words, because I was like, what is it with this team? You know,
me too.
Out here quitting on us. No, sir. Not even a little bit of quit. I wonder, man, we could talk about this all night. We got more games to go.
Yeah.
We got a whole season to think about, but it's just so cool to see as they inched closer and closer and closer, and the crowd gets a little bit more involved and more energized. Whoever was on the mic at the PA mic,
hey, bro,
was killing it.
I just saw him on Twitter. It's like Mike DJ Mike D or something. Mike, I think his name is Mike. Or
get
something.
That guy a contract. Right?
He was I heard he was off the hook, man.
Yeah, I had so many people message me saying that guy, we got to find this guy. He's so good. But anyways, point being, you could see that confidence building and building and building. At some point it clicked we could win this thing.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Talk about our guy, Donovan Dent. Now, for me, 15 assists, no turnovers. Now, someone talked about Illinois playing drop coverage and blah, blah, blah. They don't typically force a lot of turnovers. That doesn't take away from 15 assists, no turnovers in the biggest game of the season. Like, how does that relevant? What does that matter? He did it. You still got to go out and do it. To me, I wrote it after the Arizona State game where, we beat Arizona State, we scored 90 points, Dent had 20, but I just didn't feel like for this team, you need Donovan Dent really to be like this multi-level scorer that he was last year, having to have
Such
the ball.
A good point.
You know what I'm saying? You just don't need him because you got Bilodeau and you got Daly. You got so many guys around you that you can get better. So for me, the best version of Dent is being a facilitator, 15 assist type dude.
And that's really how the roster is constructed. I mean, it's Donovan Dent, and then we've got 7 3-point shooters around Donovan Dent, right? Wow. And so a matchup like Illinois, where they got length and they got size, they got strength, but they're a little bit lead foot, right?
They are.
If you can get them spread out, that closeout speed isn't quite there.
You saw it,
right?
You saw it.
We started to come back, and Donovan Dent was just throwing the ball all over the floor. There were people wide open everywhere. He could have gone multiple different locations, but we had him spread out, and they couldn't recover. And it's like there's no need. The way that the place where this team struggles is attacking the closeout.
Yeah.
But if that team is late closing out, and we can get that shot off, that ball's going in because this team can shoot it.
Oh man. One of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country. And you've been beating this drum all year. We don't take enough threes.
Yes.
We don't take enough threes. Ethan, you've been saying it every game.
And you know what? I want to shout out Daly, because they had clearly game planned. We're not closing out on Eric Daly. We're gonna let him shoot it,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And knocked down 3 of them. 3 for 6 from deep. I don't know what they were thinking. They weren't closing out on Sky Clark either. Sky
Yeah.
Clark got a few off. So
That was
I mean,
interesting. That was interesting.
I think maybe they got way up and
Got
fell asleep.
complacent. Got a little complacent. Yeah.
Fell asleep a little bit.
Yeah. And Underwood said that those guys have been struggling sort of when they get leads and taking their foot off the gas a little bit.
I'll tell you what, they need to be careful because we're about a 10 seed, right? They're about a 2 seed, right? And so let's say they get into the round of 32 and they run into a 10 seed and you fall asleep on them like that.
Oh, yeah.
You can't fall asleep in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, no, you'll get cracked.
It's one and done.
Oh, yeah,
so
you'll get cracked.
Obviously, we'll focus on our guys, but they better be careful with that.
Ethan,
that's a great team.
I quote tweeted. I linked you up in that same article, your tweet, because you always do a great job of breaking down the resume, the tournament resume metrics and laying out the numbers. Just kind of touch on that a little bit. Where do we currently stand? What does the next couple of games look like? And is there a way for us to move up on that line and get a better seed? Or what's up? What time is it with the Bruins as far as the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, so if they did selection right now, we'd be probably in that last 4 buys. We'd probably be an 11 seed.
Okay.
Right? Which is safely in. It's not going to Dayton. Not where we want to be, but safely in. If let's say we go 3-1 down the stretch,
yeah,
probably looking at a 10 seed.
Okay.
At that point, if you go 4-0, depending on what happens ahead of us, we could be in that 8-9 game, right? And so
now,
yes, I know.
Where would you want us seated in order for us to have the best shot to get to, say, the Sweet 16 or those rounds?
This is what I'll say. It seems like this year in particular, more so than the other seasons, the 1 seeds have separated themselves, right, from the pack. And the 1 seeds are beasts, where you're looking at Michigan, Duke, Arizona, although we played with Arizona.
Yeah,
Arizona.
Come on.
And Iowa State, which if you remember, Iowa State absolutely blasted Purdue in Mackey.
Killed them.
Yeah. And those teams I don't really want any piece of in the second round.
Right.
I'd rather take my chances in that 7-10, 7-10 game. I don't even think like being a last 4 buys wouldn't be the end of the world. We're at 11 seed. You're playing a 6. Winner plays the 3 or the 14.
I like that.
I don't know. I mean, I don't hate the idea of being 11.
I just feel like, God, when I look at the roster and I see the 3 guards and I see how the 3 guard, like if Sky Clark continues to feel better and gets to be 100%, like it's 3 high-level guards that are Donovan Dent, he hasn't been the greatest shooter this year, but between Clark and Perry, that's 40% three-point shooters, guys that can get downhill, pump fake, 1 bounce, can attack the rim. And then the other thing I love about Trent, that dude gets to the foul line. Like he has a very good understanding of how to draw contact, when to draw contact. I tell you what, that play he made at the end of the first half to cut the lead from 10 to 7 when he somehow drew that foul. I have no idea how Trent was able. Trent Perry goes sell a foul. He goes, Trent goes sell it. He did the same thing, but just to have that sort of mentality and for him to be this locked in into his flow, right? His rhythm, his corner threes, his little step back drives he tries to get to, the strong man game, the strong man guard game is what I call it, because he's always kind of hesitating, having the ball here, and he's trying to figure out a nook and a cranny to get to. But my point is, 3 guards that devastating, all with different types of skill sets, reminds me of old school Illinois, bro, like D. Brown, Luther Head,
Darren Williams.
Like it has elements of that. It might not be exactly the same as far as the archetypes of the players, but there's elements to that feeling. And for me, I always talk about it, man. Whoever got the guards that are playing the best, or if you got some guards that are playing well in late February and March, that team has a chance because the NCAA is all about shot making and play making. How to make plays. We need
multiple ball handlers,
both,
multiple playmakers,
so that no matter where the ball goes, we got action. So there's action. No matter who's touching it, it's going to be somebody can get downhill, drive and kick, score, knock down a shot. And when you have three dudes like that are locked into a zone, man, that makes for a very dangerous team.
Yes. So your intuition is spot on. Tyler Perry's free throw attempt rate is 55%, which puts him in the 92nd percentile nationally.
55 per wow.
My man gets to the line.
Yes,
right?
yes.
He knows how to use. He's not the most physical guy. He's still working on his strength, but he knows how to use his body to shield, to ward off defenders, create contact, and still get the shot off. Right?
He does.
Man, that's such a good point about three guard lineups. Good guards win games.
Yes.
That's just the way basketball works.
Man.
Right?
Man.
Because they have the ball in their hands, they make the decisions. And if your guards are good at the end of the game, you have a significant advantage. And I mean, I think our three guard lineup could be one of the best in the country.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. But the other thing that I liked, and Mick Cronin brought it up, talking about how Illinois was held to 29% shooting in the second half, 22% shooting in overtime. And he was kind of saying it like, don't tell me we can't be a better defensive team. So what that tells me is like the lineup, the small ball lineup, just like anytime Mick has kind of thrown a lineup in there with a wrinkle, it really hasn't worked off top. You know, it takes like a half for guys to get used to it, the ebbs and flows of the particular lineup. And that's what I feel like with the small ball lineup. Like, granted, we may get crushed on the boards, but we may also get enough rebounds to win ball games but we're also we're in that game against Illinois, we're picking up some loose balls, some 50-50 things. Like, get the key rebounds. You may not, you may get hit 20-some offensive rebounds, dog. You may get hit for that, but when the boards that count in crunch time,
you got bear down.
Like, we can grab those. And so that's sort of, it goes back to the thing about Mick too. Mick Cronin style games. Like, you're going to muck it up. We're going to be ugly. And then we're going to let some intangibles, some championship intangibles somehow is going to help us win a game. Whether it be diving on the floor for loose ball, taking a charge. Somebody hits a lucky three after being like 1 for 8 for the day. I mean, that's Mick Cronin basketball. So why not roll the dice with this lineup? Make people have to guard us. I'm tired of this concept of, yeah, man, we got to match up with them. No, match up with Bilodeau at the 5. All Big Ten third team last year, 54, 50, 80, 40, 45, whatever, from 3. Match up with Eric Daly Jr., bruh. Deal with that. Put a big, heavy, legged dude like Mirovic or Miritich on him, or whoever we go, Nebraska. Let's see what Berkey and Rink Mass and all these dudes. Let's guard Eric Daly, dog. Yeah. Let's see you guard Eric Daly, dog.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's as simple as, to me, there's a very obvious 5 best players on the team out here, right? And it reminds me a little bit, this is like a drastic example, but it reminds me a little bit, you remember the gold medal game, and Steve Kerr is like messing around with all these different lineups. He's trying to find, how can I fit, Bam in there? How can I fit this guy in there? And at the end of the day, it's like, Steve, buddy, you got 4 MVPs on your roster. Throw them out there with Book, and let's see what we can do.
See what we can do, dog.
And it's like, with this team, it's a simple concept, but your 5 best guys: Bilodeau, Daly, Sky, Trent, and Donnie. Let them rock. Let them rock. That it doesn't get any better. That's your 5 best guys. Let's go. Let's just put our 5 best against your best. Let's line it up, roll the ball out, and see what happens.
100%, because Tyler Bilodeau could have one of those days where he's on the glass, and he's giving you the 30-piece, and he's had 5, 6, 7 threes, but then he's also got 8, 9 boards. Like, Tyler, some days he'll be on the glass. He'll be, he'll figure everybody out. He'll do his hockey strongman big chest thing down there and just be on the boards. I really feel like you got to lean, as the point you made, you got to lean on your 5 best, dude. You got to play the 5 best guys. You got to keep Book in the position that he's in with being a contributor coming off the bench, man. And you got to, for me, I feel like we got to score 90, or we got to play a style of play that we could put up, because we can get you 90 pretty easily. Like when the reins are let
Buddy,
go.
we scored 33 on 15 possessions.
Talked about this whole year. Donnie's got to play without the mental shackles. So you got to play. Mick's got to leave him alone. Just let Donnie rock. Just let him play, man. Just let the guy play, man. Let him be the quarterback on the floor. Let him be the coach, the quarterback on the floor, man. Give the ball to the guy. Instill confidence in the guy. You brought him in here. You paid him a lot of money to be this guy. He's the Mountain West Conference Player of the Year. Like, he's earned college basketball stripes. I know we've been on Donnie. I have been on Donnie all season long, but Donnie's in a groove. But hey, Donnie's in a groove. You know,
he's in a groove.
Donnie's in a groove. Hey,
he's got that look in his eye.
Donnie's in a groove.
Donnie deserves it. He deserves some praise too, because his defense has gotten so much better throughout the course of the season. Specifically on the ball. He's
minimized the gambling aspect of defense that really was kind of dominating his whole style early in the season. I don't know what that was from, but I think a lot of film and coaching and tutelage have created a much more solid guy, and all he had to do was stop doing some things that he was doing.
I'm not saying he's, a world beater. I'm not saying he's like all
Gary Payton. He's not Gary Payton out there.
He's not the glove, right? But honestly, we don't need him to be either. I mean, you just got to be marginally better. I tweeted something the other day like Illinois missed 29 3-point shots in that game, 29 of them.
It's nuts.
And the only thing that really kept them in the game was the fact they went to the line 31 times, and they got all those offensive rebounds. Is really what kept them. And so, if I'm not saying we got to be, one of the best rebounding teams in the conference. I'm not saying we got to be one of the most fundamental defenses, we just got to be marginally better.
That's it. That's it. Not a lot better, just marginally better, and especially at the right time. Thoughts on kind of where, the standing of Mick Cronin, So now Mick gets this, we get in the room. Yeah, we get this win. Well, before we go there, I got to talk about the play. I got to talk about Donnie's play.
Yeah.
It's amazing the confidence and the sort of the thing I noticed about the play was Donnie at the end, the dipsy do. Like, I felt like Donnie knew the entire time that he was about to score that. Because how do you go up and then be sweet? Like, he didn't have to do all that. But I think
he wanted the identical Tyus Edney shot. That's what he wanted.
But you see how he spun it on the backboard? Like, that was a dangerous shot, bro. I was like, but that just shows you his level, his command. When he's in that position, trying to get downhill, and driving to the basket, we've seen him be an absolute monster attacking the glass. I forgot what attacking the rim. I forgot what game that was, but he had like 4 and 1s where he's jumping, hitting dudes in the chest, finishing.
Yes.
It was at home, I believe. But that's what. So that part of it, for him to be able to do that, man, in that moment, like UCLA legend. Like, he goes down. Like I saw Cameron Dollar win a game on a half-court shot against Washington in Pauley Pavilion. And if you win a game for UCLA, let alone a conference game, let alone versus a top 10 team, if you are responsible for that, I'm giving you legendary status in the history of UCLA. Okay. Period.
You know what a couple things I loved about that play. First of all, it looked like Illinois was trying to run him into a trap right at half court. They had sent a second defender there, right? Yeah. And Donnie got so much head of steam ahead of him. He blew right through the stop sign. Yeah, and when somebody on Twitter like slowed it down and
you can hear Mick. Donnie, go out!
Mick, go out! And I think Mick was shouting that because when I watched it back, Bilodeau didn't trail immediately.
Yeah.
He sets the screen, and he stays there to pick off Trent Perry's defender, who is trailing the play. He's trailing the play, and it looked like we had a possible wrinkle here where if Donnie has to give up the ball, we've got Trent Perry coming from the wing to take that shot. And it seemed like he gets up there to the stop sign where the plan clearly for Illinois is we're going to turn him and make him give up the ball. And Donnie's got the head of steam. He's got the momentum. He's got Mick in his ear. Go at him, Donnie. And we can't hear it on the broadcast, but I wonder if there was something that's like, I'm it's on me. I'm doing this one. And
100%.
man, how great was the Brando call too?
Oh,
Like he shouts Tyus Edney
ridiculous.
before he goes in for the layup.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yo, that was an all-time call by Tim
Yes, it
Brando. I'm a
was.
big Brando guy, bro.
Me too,
Hey, I
man.
love me
Credit
some
to
Tim Brando, dog. That was an all-timer, bro. Like, yo, that
yeah,
like for him, for that, for just the synergy, the symmetry. I mean, it's just like crazy that we had 4.9. And then
yes,
because Tyus had to go behind his back, so Tyus at half court, he had to go behind his back. But Donnie kind of I don't know if you saw the quick cross. So there was a
yes.
change. There was a change of direction as well. But then the attack and the way he finished, like Donovan Dent, man. I just hope that he bottles this up and that everyone on the squad that played well, like we bottle up this energy. We got the
Yeah,
formula. That's how we win. We can beat top 5, top 10 teams. We can do it. We have the formula how to do it. And it's not to get down 33-10. Win. Build on the style of play, build on small ball, figure out how we go board more. Now you get to address different pain points associated with the game before. And I just hope that we don't revert and go back to the BS. I love the guys, man. Man, I get, it touches me when we see the crowd. So Donnie hits the shot, and then all the guys get around him, and Donnie's in the middle, him and Trip Perry kind of talking, and they got some like interact. Like there's
yeah.
nothing better in the world than that moment, that feeling. It brings you together as a team. It brings people together as fans. You see what it does. It's just,
Yes.
man, we were due, Ethan. We were due. We UCLA fans were due. We needed that. We needed that type of win. We needed that jubilation, that exuberance of joy and
Joy,
happiness.
that's the word.
And we needed it,
We
bro.
needed to feel something again. That wasn't like anger
Debbie
and
Downer, yeah, like oh my
bitterness.
god, But it's
Yes.
incredible. It's incredible that dog, have you ever been associated with anything like that in UCLA history where we go from the darkest moment
Yeah.
to arguably the brightest,
Yeah.
the biggest regular season? Like, have you ever seen anything like that? Like, we can talk about Gonzaga with
Yeah.
Howland and that win, Alan
The
Morrison
tournament
sitting on the
stuff
floor
is
crying.
different. Yeah.
Tournament stuff is way different. Yeah, it's way
Yeah.
different ball game. No question. No question. Well, man, listen. Um, Hey man, it's great talking to you, bro.
Yeah, you too. You too.
Yeah,
I mean, we
man.
can't even relax. Now we got USC coming in here tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm
So,
excited about it though.
yeah.
It's another test. That's a solid team. SC's pretty solid. I don't know if our guy is Baker. Is he out for the year?
He played against Oregon.
Oh, so he
And so
played against Oregon?
yeah, I imagine
okay.
he'll be back.
Because
and
that
playing.
dude, that dude can get it going.
It's not going to be a walk in the park.
No.
And they do things that we struggle with. They get fouled a ton.
Yeah.
A ton. And
Yeah.
so, it's not going to be a walk in the park. What I appreciated about last year's game is the boys didn't relax.
No.
They came in here, ball was tipped, and we're on them
Yeah.
immediately.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want to see tomorrow night.
Yeah, we got to definitely punch first, get ahead of it, and, don't freaking look back. Ethan,
Yeah.
I appreciate you, my man.
Thank you so much for having me on.
It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure chatting with you.
And then we're gonna definitely tap in next week. Thank you guys for listening. The great Ethan from X TFL. We are out.